Yo guys, so had a pretty crazy like 48 hours, and I just thought, you know what? I need to tell you guys, okay? My foot is currently out of order. It's in some big ass boot. I'm gonna tell you how I got there. Okay, let's go. So like basically I have a heel deformity. Like on my heel there's a deformity. It's called like a Haglund's deformity or something. Shout out Haglund's. Pretty sure it's named after someone. Um and it can be an issue. You can go your whole life without really it being an issue. It's been an issue for me a couple of times in my life, like when I was heavily pregnant and I was carrying extra weight, and a few other times. But um, it usually like heals on its own. It's not something, if you pardon the pun, heals on its own. But it's not usually like too big of an issue until now. So basically, my foot was been killing for a while. Then the pain spread to the whole like top. Let me just show you my other foot spread like here to like the top of my foot. I don't know what it is. Anyway, carry on, power through. And then on the weekend, it hurt so bad that it had me rocking a stick, rocking a walking stick. And I felt silly enough, yeah, with the stick. Never mind this beast. I felt silly enough with this, yeah. I had so many people on my Instagram story like, oh, is that candy stick? Have you borrowed candy stick? But there was literally so many DMs, but they all had the same punchline. Be more original next time, guys. Yeah. If you must know, yeah, the stick actually came from um, my dad's childhood friend Barry. Shout out Barry. He took his own life. He passed away when I was just after I turned 15, and he's a beautiful soul. I remember he used to come to watch me perform at music competitions and stuff, which were like over an hour away when some of my own family members didn't even make the effort. So I know that Barry would be hella proud of me right now. So big him up. And his stick came in use, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But then I accepted, yeah. Sunday night I accept some last minute promo work in Birmingham at the NEC because they got some pet and aquatics trade show, or I don't know, some, I think that's it, PATS, yeah. So there was this company that needed like promo people, which basically had to stand there, draw people in, talk, answer simple questions. You know what I'm saying? Easy work. I like promo work. Really enjoyed myself on day one, might I add. And I managed to get through the day with the foot pain quite well because basically it's a Hungarian company that I was working for. So the guys were from Hungary and they had this drink called Palinka. I'll insert a picture of it because I took a picture, and it's actually really nice, and it helped numb my foot. Okay, so they let me have some stuff, and it really eased the pain off, and so I was able to like bear weight onto it and stuff. But as it comes to the end of the day, yeah, and I've been on my foot for like 7 8 hours, I'm like, yo, my foot is radiating pain right now, and I worried that I wouldn't be able to do the next day. I was worried that doing it would really send me over the edge. The pain was so bad that I thought, okay, this might be serious. Everyone around me's been like, you need to sort your foot, you need to go get it checked, you need to go get it checked. And I suddenly thought, okay, I'm gonna get it checked. So I call NHS like as I'm finishing up at work, and they're like, go to a minor injuries unit. So I drive, yeah. Bear in mind, NEC's like maybe like an hour and 10 minutes away from me, but to get to the hospital, it was like past mine. So I think it took like an hour and 40 minutes. I get to like this smaller hospital in Bridge North, yeah. I wait there for an hour and a half or something. By the time I'm seen, they're like, the X-ray unit's closed. We can't do nothing for you. I'm like, so why would you guys tell me on the phone to come here if by the time I'm going to be seen, you can't do nothing? Yeah, I did. I broke down crying to the woman because I'm in pain. I've been on my feet all day. I was running on a few hours sleep anyway. So what do you mean I've just sat here for nothing? She's like, yeah, I'm really sorry about that, but you've got to go to A&E. And I'm like, awesome. So now I've got to drive like 30 40 minutes back to Telford to the hospital. And I get there, okay. I get seen by triage within an hour where she's like, you're clearly in a lot of pain. She's like, do you want me to book you to have an emergency appointment to come back the next day? And I'm like, girl, I can't because I've already agreed to this work. I don't want to let the company down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to stick by my word and they're expecting me. So I was like, I have to be back in work the next day. And she's like, okay, well, you're gonna have to wait out. I'm like, how long's the wait gonna be? Estimate. She's like 5 hours. I'm like, okay. I just thought, you know what? I just got to get through tonight. I just got to get through tomorrow. In my head, I'm like, just get through tonight, get through tomorrow. You'll be all right. Okay. So I say, okay, can you put on the thing to call me when the doctor's coming out to me? Because I might as well go like lie in my car so I can keep like my foot up and just so I can be more comfortable. And A&E waiting room was like loads of people, a couple people lay on the floor. She's like, yeah, okay, that's cool. So I go in the car park and I'm like trying to nap in my car, maybe fall asleep for like an hour. But also my phone is nearly dying, so I'm like panicking. And when my phone battery gets too low, I go back inside. I'm waiting inside then for a couple of hours anyway. I finally get seen by the doctor. Okay, this is where everything starts to go horrifically wrong. I don't know how I survived yesterday. So it's now like about 3 a.m. Okay, I've been seen. I'm talking to this doctor, and he's like, "What do you want me to do for you?" And I'm like, "Advice, maybe. Cause what's wrong with my foot? Why does it hurt this bad?" But basically, because I hadn't fallen and like snapped my ankle on a mad injury, he's like, "Well, there can't be nothing serious." So he basically prescribes me naproxen and omeprazole, which I've had before in my life, and I don't really rate. So I was like, okay, I'm not really going to do anything with this prescription, I'm going to be honest. And I was just like, well, what do you advise? And he's like, you need to stay on top of it. I'm like, oh, like I should rest. And he's like, no, stay on top of the pain. He's like, he's like, before I come into shift, he said, my back hurts. He said, it doesn't hurt because I take painkillers. He said, I just get on with it. Basically told me, you get on with it. Okay. And I'm just like, okay. And then while I'm there, he gives me medication while I'm there. Okay. Liquid syringe. And before I take it, I'm like, because I don't really do painkillers like that. I might pop a codeine if my period pains are really, really, really bad. But other than that, I don't really like painkillers, pills. I'm not into that. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. So he gives me the syringe, and this is what he said to me. I said, "What are you giving me?" He said, "Don't worry." He says, "You cannot get an overdose from a doctor. The doctor cannot overdose you." So I'm thinking, okay, cool, whatever. What is it? He's like, oh, it's a liquid morphine. I forgot the actual name for it, but it's liquid morphine. 5 ml he gave me. Okay. I would like to add, before I took this, I explained I have to be back at Birmingham. I have to drive to Birmingham to work. I have to be there for like 9. So I'm going to set off like before 8. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Made this clear. Car keys in my hands. Yeah. Gives me the morphine. Guys, I've not had morphine before. I think maybe once when I was in hospital when I was like 16, but like on a general consensus, yeah, it's not something that I'm used to. I'm not used to opiates yet. they ain't my poison. So he gives it me and doesn't like tell me of any possible side effects, doesn't tell me you're not supposed to drive for like 24 hours after having it, doesn't tell me any of this critical information. Bear in mind it's 3 a.m. Yeah, I've got to set off to leave for like 7:45. That's like 4 hours. Like if anyway, so I drive home, yeah, which I wasn't even supposed to do apparently. Not that anyone told me, yeah. So I drive home, okay. Unknowingly, obviously, I'm driving illegally because you're not supposed to drive under the influence of morphine. I drive home. I'm asleep by 4 a.m. Set an alarm, wake myself up at like 7:15, literally hop in the shower, hop in the car. Now I'm feeling a bit sick and I'm feeling tired, yeah. And I'm thinking this is because I'm running off 3 hours sleep. I was running off 4 hours sleep the night before and then did the whole day and then did the whole night in A&E. So I'm just exhausted. This is what I'm putting it down to, exhaustion, yeah. I'm saying to myself in my head, just get through today. Just get through today and you'll be fine. Okay, that's all I kept saying to myself. It's just one day. I'm driving on the way there, yeah, standstill traffic and everything. I'm starting to feel really sick. And I'm like, it's very rare that I throw up when I'm that tired, but it has happened before. Like when I was like 17, I used to work at the co-op and I used to have to get up at like 5 a.m. to start at 6. I would literally throw up before my mum would drive me at 6 a.m. because just waking up that early would make me feel sick. I ain't a morning person, full stop, yeah? I'm talking too much. Okay, so I'm driving on the motorway and I have to pull over, come off to throw up, yeah, to be sick. Because I'm feeling a burning sensation on my skin. I'm going like really hot, feeling a bit weird. Again, because I've not been told possible side effects or anything like that, I'm just putting this down to tiredness and just run down. Like I must just be feeling like so rubbish right now, okay? My body is exhausted type shit. Okay, then I get there, and as I walk in and the room is really hot and everything, it all kind of like hits me, and then I'm like stood up. Okay, the standing is where it all goes wrong. I'm stood up trying to do my promo job, should I say. I'm stood there with literally within the first 20 minutes, I get this huge like heat wave and this like sickness. I'm starting to feel dizzy, and I'm like, what on earth? Run to the toilet and I'm vomiting, yeah. vomiting this luminous green liquid, might I add. Not that I'd eaten or drank anything of green substance, yeah. So I'm like panicking a little bit, like what the hell? Okay, come back thinking I'm gonna feel okay now, and then I have like another wave, maybe like 5 minutes after, and I'm like, oh my goodness, run back to be sick again. Then I'm like delirious, yeah. I'm coming back, and my jaw is like, yeah, I look like I've just dropped a pill. My jaw is going crazy, yeah, shaking. Then I'm going freezing cold, and I'm like dizzy. I literally feel like I'm tripping off my face. I go outside for air, and I'm like literally folded in half on a chair. I can't even move outside, just trying to take in the cool air. And in the cool air while I'm laid down, I stay out there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, like it's coming back to life. The second I step back in and I'm stood up, it's like the room is spinning, slow motion. I can't even talk normally. I'm like talking really slow. Now at this point, they can see I'm visibly unwell, yeah, and they're like, what is going on? Are you okay? And I'm like, no, like I can't even talk properly. I was just like, I don't know like what's wrong with me. I take myself back to the toilet. I'm now folded in half in a cubicle, just like trying to keep it together. I come back and they're like, you need to go. Yeah. Obviously I can't be representing, I can't be working for them. Yeah, they ain't trying to pay me while I'm useless to them at this point, yeah. So I have to go. So I go home, and this is the scariest bit, yo. I had to get home, yeah, while I was feeling like this. That was the scariest drive I've ever done down the motorway ever. Literally, like, eyes felt like they were rolling, like hot, cold, so tired, trying to just like stay what felt like conscious. Like, it was wild, yeah, it was wild. The only thing that I could compare it to, and this is when it struck me while I was driving home, suddenly sent me to a flashback when I was really, really, really young, yeah, and I was in pain for something. Someone gave me a tramadol, which is a really strong painkiller, and they said, make sure you go to sleep with it, yeah. And I went to sleep, but then I got woken up. My sleep got disturbed. And because my sleep got disturbed and get to sleep it off and everything, I remember throwing up over 20 times. And I'll never forget, it was into like a baby bathtub. I was just vomiting. And I was quite young, can't remember how young. And that like scarred me. So already put me off like strong painkillers, yeah. And that is the moment that I realized, oh my God, it's the morphine. So I get home. I didn't even call my parents and tell them that I'm home or whatever. Bear in mind they're looking after my son. And I told them that I was going to be there to pick him up at 5:30. So I conk out, I wake up kind of like just after 5:30, and I immediately jump out of bed thinking that I'm going to be fine now. And I wasn't. I jump out of bed and I'm still like swaying. I still feel sick. I throw up again. My stomach is now cramping really, really bad as well. Like I'm in mad pain. My head is in mad pain. So then I call my dad and I explain what happened. And I said they give me 5 ml of codeine of morphine. And he was just like, what? He was like, he's talked about his friend. He was like, she had 2.5 but given by hospital, and she was like really sick all day. I was like, they give me 5 ml at 3 a.m. knowing, because I told them, because the reason why I declined the emergency appointment for the next day was because I needed to be in work. And I'd said this to them again when I saw the doctor. And I'd said that I need to be back in Birmingham. Why on earth would you give me morphine knowing that I've got to drive home and knowing that I've got to drive to work? That is so dangerous. Like, I don't know if you guys even know how dangerous that is. I lived it, yeah? So I literally know how dangerous that was. So dangerous. I'd like to add, yeah, while I was seeing this doctor, I had a student nurse with him. Student nurse, yeah. She was like, perhaps we should refer her to the fracture clinic, just so they can give a scan and make sure everything's okay. He wasn't too interested in that thought, but she was like, my husband went through the same thing, and I think it would be good because if it is nothing serious, at least they can start physio or whatever. And he was like, oh, okay then. I asked him if I should wear a boot or if I should use the stick, and he said no, the painkillers are going to stop you using the stick, and you don't need a boot. He said because it's not a fracture, it's not nothing serious, yeah, your foot's just aggravated. I'm trusting this doctor. So I'm like, okay, so today I go to the fracture clinic, okay. Bearing in mind I'm really annoyed in it because I lost out on the day of work, and the whole reason why I went to A&E the night before was that I didn't have to miss work, and the whole reason I didn't take the emergency appointment was that I didn't have to miss work, for me to travel all the way there, travel expenses all the way there and back, and to earn nothing anyway. So that annoyed me, yeah. Then I go to the fracture clinic appointment today. He looks at my foot. He's instantly like, we need to get you in for an x-ray. He said, we're going to do an urgent MRI. You have to wait this week for a call for it. He said, and we're going to see what's going on. We do the fracture, we do the we do the, what's it called, the x-ray. Okay, and he's like, it's not showing anything like too bad on the x-ray. We can see your heel deformity. He said, but I want to do an MRI because that will pick up if it's like a stress or hairline fracture or anything to do with the tendons or etc. Cool. So that all gets done. After I've done that, and he then says, I want to make sure that you leave here today with a boot. He said, because your foot needs to be supported. He said, you shouldn't be driving. He said, you need to rest as much as you can, not be on your feet. I say, like, you know, I like to train, I like to do boxing, I like to do this. And he's like, you need to completely rest your foot. You don't want to cause any long-term adverse effects on mobility while you don't know what's wrong with your foot. So I was very grateful for the guy that I saw today that's actually trying to get to the bottom of my foot. Okay, but if it wasn't for that student nurse that requested that, I would literally still be walking around on my foot, not knowing what's wrong, just thinking that my foot is aggravated. Like, I was so disappointed, and I still am, and I'm still so angry. The reason why I'm making this video is because I usually post every day on YouTube Shorts, not necessarily long form, but I always post daily on YouTube Shorts. And I've literally been absent for like 3 days. I've been absent on my social media pretty heavy because I've been off my rocker, because I've not been here, not been in this plane of existence. So yeah, I wanted to update you guys where I am. I am feeling, can't lie, a bit deflated. I don't want to say depressed in it, but I'm feeling a bit depressive. I'm just trying not to think about it too hard, about the fact that everything that I like to do is about to be like flipped around. And I know that I should be grateful because, like, I still have a foot. Some people out here were like, no leg or whatever, but just let me be emotional for a day. I'm a woman, I'm rooted in emotion, and I'm exhausted, and I still don't feel 100% today because, you know, I was throwing up for hours solidly yesterday. So I'm feeling a bit because obviously I have a son, I am a single mother. So just doing that itself, hardcore. I live in a flat in which I have to use stairs to get into my property. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like I can just like rest downstairs. I don't have a downstairs. So everything that I'm doing is so much slower. Like, I'm not supposed to drive, so how am I supposed to get around? How am I supposed to go shopping? All this stuff's going through my head. Ooh, okay, so I'm just trying not to spiral. I'm honestly trying not to spiral. Have I spiraled a little bit multiple times today? Have I cried? I have cried, yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm human. Let me cry. Let me be emotional. Then I can figure it out and sort it out and plan tomorrow. But I just want to say, you're probably going to see a lot more of these long form updated, because I'm going to be at home a lot. Yeah, I've got to learn to love to sit at home. That's not me. Yeah, sit on my own. That's not me. I do sit on my own, but it's not necessarily like at home like this, like can't really do anything. And I struggle a lot with like hot-headedness, anger, a lot of built up stuff. I like to bang that out on a bag or gym or something in order to keep my sanity. So now I've got to find other ways to keep my sanity. It might be, yeah, run into my camera, talking, and I'm just going to upload it because life's too short, because I don't care, because maybe someone else going through the same thing. I don't really know. Guys, you're actually probably going through worse stuff, like physical wise, whatever, but I'm saying I'm just very used to fast life, being on the go, and now it's like, oh, slow down. And the worst thing is that it's not the worst thing. It's obviously very beautiful. My friends and that, they'd be like, you know, God is obviously telling you to slow down. God needs you to stay at home for something. This is obviously an elevation period, and it's like, I hate it. Oh, hate it when people use God against me, because I can't fight that. Okay, because when you use God against me, I can't combat it. I can't give some outrageous justification. I can't get angry at it. I just have to sit and accept it, because I know that is true, and I very much know that everything happens for a reason. I said that when I was in the clinic today. I just said, you know, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And I come home and someone had commented on my TikTok, like, I swear I seen you in the hospital today. I hope you're okay. And it's just like, I hate being seen as vulnerable or defenseless or this type of shit. Because me, when I'm out, especially I was with my son in the hospital today, I'm always on guard, like always on guard. So to now know that when I'm out, yeah, I'm more vulnerable and I can't just like bang. You know what I'm saying? Not that I would, but if push came to shove, I just feel like I couldn't protect myself as much. Why? Because I've got a fucking massive moon boot on my foot. Bang, maybe I'll just use it to kick them. But that's just what always goes through my head. I walk into a room, I plan my escape route. I'm outside, I'm always looking around, do you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm with, like, you know, a kind protective man, then I'm just la da 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 in my head. But that doesn't exist in my life. So here I am. So basically what I'm trying to say is the last 48 hours was crazy. Sorry for my absence. But you're going to be sick of me soon, because I literally can't do nothing else but be here. So I'm thinking, what do you guys want to see from me long for? I'm just going to sit and talk to you guys about certain stuff. Basically, I was like, should I tell you guys about all my DMT trips? obviously they're in the past, but they're very interesting. Stuff like that. Let me know what you want to hear. I'm gonna do it for you. Like, and I know I say that I'm gonna do this, and then like I haven't done it before, but that's just because I get caught up in all my other outside life. I don't have an outside life no more, guys. Until I know what's wrong and how long this is gonna be an issue for, I'm literally gonna be chilling, killing, no longer billing my ads. Yeah, I'm not billing. Although actually last night was the first time that I smoked in over 3 weeks, but that was just because the sickness was so bad. I needed to eat something in the evening. Little smoke, was able to eat, went to sleep, was nice. Okay. But yeah, changed my relationship with the lettuce. Just because I was using it as a crutch, you know what I'm saying? I was leaning on it. My intention behind the use was no longer good, no longer good, no longer good at all. So I had to just sit with some feelings for a while, work through them. But it's actually because I got a phone call saying that I start therapy next month about 3 weeks ago, which is why I just thought, you know what, I need to change my relationship. So I got a fresh mind so that when I go into my therapy sessions, I can actually absorb everything she's saying and apply it to my life. So I'm excited for that. Am I excited? I am excited. I'm not excited to talk about stuff, but I am excited for the overall outcome. Maybe if it helps. I see a lot of people say with BPD that doesn't really help therapy, but I also have PTSD, complex PTSD, so I feel like it's going to help with that. Maybe we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It's got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Why are you leaking? So yeah, that's basically it. That's my last 48 hours in a nutshell. And now road to recovery. I've got a big bag of frozen peas because apparently I've got to ice this bitch twice a day. So I'm gonna try to do that as well. But I hate cold feet. I hate cold feet. I got a hot water bottle at the bottom of my bed every night, warming my feet up. I don't want no cold feet. The fuck? That's it, guys. Oh my god, I forgot I got a new Jack Skellington sleep mask, by the way, which matches my new Jack Skellington slippers that Kira bought me. She got me these for Christmas, but then got excited, so she gave them to me early. Not that I can really wear them now because my foot. But yeah, I know I said that was it, but now this is actually it. So. Night, guys.